What?
Why are you shaking your head?
You're welcome. Good morning. What is up? Welcome to Hump Day with Hansen. I am, in fact, Hansen. That is Thomas Tipple, Tommy T-Bone over there doing the producing, the wall bouncing. Basically, he's a wall bouncer is what he is. We bounce it off the wall. He's a flagpole runner. We run it up the flagpole. Second opinion guy. But this here live stream, we do it because Wednesdays suck. Wednesday mornings suck. But we do have, the injury report coming out. We are a day away from Thursday night football and all that good stuff. And you know me, I love to waste corporate America's time. So if you work for a large corporation and you're watching this while not working, thank you. Congratulations. You win today. I don't know why that really is a thing for me. Well, I do know why. But let's waste some corporate dollars, basically.
That's right.
Big fan of that. Well, a lot going on. Pretty wild week. I was just looking at our staff picks and we all shit the bed. I went 6-8 last week and I had one of the better weeks on the board there. A couple of people did worse than I did. So the National Fake You Out League in full effect, but I thought it was a very, very, very good week of analysis across the board on the site. If you read Hansen's hints, please do read that damn thing because it only takes me about 39 hours to write that every week. Thought it was pretty good. Props were really good. I should have went 5-0 on my top 5 props. They pulled Danny Dimes. I mean, I need 19 yards. I mean, mortal lock to go 5-0 there. I lost a Pittman prop, but I still went 20-7 on the week. So feeling pretty good about the hashtag analysis. Not going to get cocky. Not going to get arrogant. In terms of the propage, I'm bracing myself for this little run to end just like it did last year, and I'm going to start taking unders. Big FU to the football gods, to the books, you name it. We're going to start winning unders in November, aka November. But let's kick it off with we'll hop right into it. And I do the players to trade and trade for article every week. It hasn't been as beautiful in terms of returns and immediate gratification this year as it is in other years. And I think that's because this year is absolutely chaotic. Real quick, Thomas, I don't know if you remember it, but I started saying at the last 3, 4, 5 weeks of the preseason that, the waiver wire was going to be insane, that there were going to be 1 million people involved and it was just going to be chaos and it's just going to be seasons within the season. You remember all that stuff?
I would never forget it.
I mean, are we seeing it?
You were seeing it. I'm seeing some very kind of insane. Obviously, I only play Dynasty, so for you redraft players, this may not matter to you. But in Dynasty, where it's so hard to get waiver wire players that are useful, I got to tell you, you have no idea how many leagues I put Kendrick Bourne in, Guru. Like it is. There are so many injuries this year and so much unpredictability that these waiver wire players are mattering even more. Right now, it's Mason Taylor's not really a waiver wire guy in Dynasty, but he's more of a taxi squad guy that I was buying leading up to his production. And you mentioned him last week even here, and then look what happened this week. You mentioned him last week as somebody
that was my number one prop of the week, actually.
Yeah, you and I was. If you remember, I was very surprised. I said, "Oh man, I everyone's asking about Mason Taylor," and I just went and looked how well he did, and I was surprised. And now I'm. I wasn't as locked in, but when you said it, I went and checked it out. So he's not really more of a waiver wire guy in Dynasty, but I can tell you that in our Discord, that link is in the description, by the way. If you want to get in, you have a subscription, take advantage, use our Discord, company man and all that. Everyone is just asking Mason Taylor.
And phenomenal.
And it's guys like Mason Taylor. Now it's the wide receiver in Dallas that I'm seeing getting picked up for a lot of money.
Flournoy. I picked him up in our Dynasty League, actually. I bid because I never bid. I mean, I finished last year with like $998 out of 1,000, but I saw him and I almost rarely, I hate to say this, I rarely work the waiver wire, but I was a little ahead of schedule this week and I'm like, you know what? Give me that dude. I got him for $210, which is like 20% of my budget. Worth a shot. It's all experimentation.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's all the waiver wire is. I mean, you're paying for a guy that you might use 1 week, but you get multiple weeks out of somebody. I mean, you're absolutely celebrating. I just want to mention I do see the super chats, and I know last week there was like some confusion. We answer questions once Guru gives us his 5 players. So we do content first, question second. We see your super chats. Stick around. We can get them answered. You can watch the replay. And if you don't get your questions answered when this show is over and it goes off the air live, you can leave your comments. I will be around to answer as many as I can on a busy day for me, more than usual today. But I will be around to answer them. I did get last week, Guru. Every single one of them.
Good for you. I know. I've been looking. I sometimes I don't. I'm getting a little weird in my old age. I'm a little bit more of a lurker. I don't know what it is.
It's all good. That's what you guys have me here for. Come on now.
Right. No, but I always feel bad. I can't, I don't want anyone asking me a question or email and I can't respond. I feel bad for it. Anyway, let's get into.
We got him.
No, I'll go right to you here. And because I'm in on buying low on all the Ravens.
Oh, okay.
I know we're
going from my heart right off the bat. All right.
I mean,
let's talk about it.
Because there are seasons within the season.
There are.
And they're big losers, as I wrote in the article. They're big losers. Season 1 and season 2. Big losers. Just like pro wrestling, they're on the ropes. It's like Larry Zbyszko, just beat your ass. Okay? But you're Tony Garea and you're a tough SOB. You go like that, and then you get off the mat, and all of a sudden you're back. That's the Ravens. So I'm buying low on Lamar, Zay Flowers. Still going to put Henry there, and even Mandrews. Let me give you the schedule for Mandrews. Now,
did you see that they're trying to trade him?
Good luck. Okay, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. He's 16. I think it's 16 million, but they're already talking about where we're willing to part ways. So that's they traded Owe finally. Finally got that guy off my roster.
Owe, yeah. Okay, who is saying it though? Like, is it the media or
the team? I guess the team leaked it, and I believe it was a rap report. Who is more agent.
Well, look, I would normally be cautious.
I'm buying. I agree.
Okay. I would normally be cautious on Andrews, and again, tight ends have never been more productive than they are literally right now.
Mm-hmm.
However, look at this schedule in terms of points given up to tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
Even this week, the Rams given up 14. After that, Chicago 14, Miami 15 plus, Minnesota 14, Cleveland 12. The Jets 16, Cincy 18, Pittsburgh 16, Cincy again 18, and New England 16, and even Green Bay 17. Like, that is absurd. That is literally the best schedule I've ever seen for a tight end for 10 games or more.
And if you remember, the Mark Andrews, I argued this for years. Mark Andrews' highest upside season came in the Tyler Huntley year. They're already talking about Tyler Huntley potentially starting over
are you kidding me?
Cooper Rush, which could mean they are. He would hyper target Mark Andrews, I imagine, again.
I remember that first game saying exactly that. He's going to lean, and he did. He threw him a bunch of 6-yarders, over the middle. So
it was the Packers game, if I'm not mistaken.
Don't remember the opponent, but I absolutely remember saying and thinking, okay, Snoop Minnis, what he's going to do, he's going to lean on his blankie, Mark Andrews. Well, so that's
Indy.
Was it Indy?
No, Indy was Lamar that year. Green Bay, 13 targets, 10 receptions.
Boom, there you go. Yeah. Well, otherwise, I'm ready to buy on Saquon.
Yes.
Ready to buy. I didn't say it last week, but this week I am. And I'll tell you why. Because I think he's going to crush in the next 3 games. He's going to crush the Giants twice and the Vikings. Saquon Barkley is going to run for 300 yards in his next 3 games. And just FYI, I think he's going to do well tomorrow night. I'm working on propage and all that and doing some digging here. How about this stuff? Okay, so last year, Saquon crushing on the man gap runs. You would have to think. By the way, he had a 55-yard against the Giants. You would have to think these dumb coaches realize that they are struggling on those runs. I got to figure out a way to get him the ball on those runs. Last year he crushed it. 44% of his runs were on a man gap concept runs last year. Barkley, 44%. And he averaged 6.35 yards per carry on those runs with a 54% success rate. This year, only 25% of his runs have been on those concepts. So let's start there. Let's increase that. And he's averaging only 2.3 yards per carry with a 28.6% success rate. Now, you would think, well, why this week will it be turned around? Because the Giants currently give up a 60% success rate on those runs, tops in the league, 6.42 yards per carry, just like last year. So I think he'll run for 100 tomorrow night, basically. Probably going to need a big run to get there. But I definitely like his prop over 85.5. Just FYI there. I would, I'm into buying low there on him. How about Josh Jacobs?
Yes.
Really good one.
Yes.
Really good one. Because look at his schedule. You got the Bengals. They're giving up 32 points a game. Cardinals, Steelers, they're okay. Carolina's been a good matchup. Even Philly, although last week they were better. Giants are terrible. Vikings are terrible against the run. You got Lions. Bears are awful. Got them. Denver's not great. Then you got the Bears again. I mean, this is a beautiful schedule. Your Ravens. I mean, this is a beautiful schedule, man. So
I do a mini podcast every Monday. A little longer this week at 30 minutes, but it's a dynasty mini podcast, quick fire type stuff. Just some early reactions before we get the data. I put that over on the Dynasty Points podcast feed, just me, quick hits. And one of the things I talked about this week, Guru, is buying players on their bye week or coming off their bye week because they're out of sight, out of mind.
100%. I've been doing that's a cheat code for 20 years I've been using.
Exactly. So Josh Jacobs not scoring you points before the bye week. Jordan Love was throwing it around. Perfect buy low.
People who have Josh Jacobs this week have literally forgotten that they have Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, they're watching their guy Rico Dowdle pop off for over 200.
Oh my God, he looked unbelievable.
Did he look unbelievable, or is Miami that bad?
I thought he looked unbelievable. I mean, I guess you have to say Miami looked that bad to make him look that good. But like the fact is, he did look good. Yeah, really good. And yeah, sure, you have to attribute a decent portion of that to the defense, but man, it did look good. I mean,
he looked insane.
There were 1-2 runs where he looked like the best back in the league.
He looked good last year. I never understood him not
maybe
getting
it's the
even
uniform. Something about the uniform. Maybe he looks a little bigger. I don't know.
The old Jonathan Stewart, D'Angelo Williams look in Carolina. I mean, they are nice jerseys.
I love me some D'Angelo Williams back in the day, though. Let me tell you. Love me some D'Angelo Williams. I had a brief chat with him in 2006. I believe that was his rookie year in Carolina because I was there to interview Steve Smith. I think I told that story somewhat recently, man. Mm-hmm. Man, was he good. Love D'Angelo. How about this one? Chase Brown. Now, I'm not saying this is going to stick all year, but what I am saying is that Bro Flacco is Captain Checkdown. That is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So between perhaps a little bit of a better clock in his head. I know he doesn't have Browning's mobility, but a little bit of a better clock in his head, better of a pocket passer, maybe more of a challenge to defenses downfield with Flacco. That should open things up a little bit. And at the end of the day, Flacco is, in fact, Captain Checkdown. The Browns running backs have 40 targets in 5 weeks, not even including Harold Fannin. That's like a check down. So, yeah, what do you think of that Chase Brown one there? I mean, you're not giving away the farm, but I think you could get a nice little ROI right now if you buy low on Chase Brown.
Yeah, I think he's been left for dead by the fantasy community given this offense. Now, I don't know if Flacco is going to play right away this week.
I'm sure he will.
He is a veteran. He's one of those things. I specifically like the Green Bay matchup because he just beat him. Right. with Cleveland, so at least he has some information there. Yeah. He can use them, and you're right with the tight end stuff because of what and how they use. But the Chase Brown thing with him, he does check down quite a bit, less mobility. I mean, they go even more under center with him, keep him at a shotgun. I'm imagining a world where you probably get like 10 carries for 22 yards. and 8 receptions for 45, and that gets you there. And in a long haul of a season, that is incredibly, incredibly valuable as an RB2, even a weekly flex play. And he is somebody that you could ship somebody off that just had a big performing week, like a Kendrick Bourne, who there's no way Kendrick Bourne's usage stays the same once everyone is healthy. Chase Brown is the type of player you could probably go and buy right now at cheap, because like you said, he's kind of been memed and left for dead now. He's got the ick tag on him, stay away. I think you're right in buying while using some of these hot waiver wire players that you've picked up that aren't going to be able to continue with just plain usage. Yeah. Bourne specifically, that's how you make a profit, is you churn out these waiver wire players for sustainable assets week over week. So I think you're right there. I will say, I think they were just better off sticking with Browning. I think Joe Flacco.
We can always go back to him, though. We can always go back. Now we have options.
2 picks. I think they sent away 2 picks. And a lot of people, and I just want to get this off my chest, a lot of people are asking, why not Jameis? Because Jameis Winston sucks. Yeah. And the problem with Jameis Winston, we love him for fantasy, obviously. He's going to cost you more in the long run. They got Flacco because they are not going to have to invest anything into a guy who's likely done at the end of this season. This is to appease the fans. It's the most Bengals cheap possible way that they could go and get someone to hype the crowd up, to keep their season alive, etc. That's all this is. I just would like to see the fantasy community move past the idea that Jameis Winston is ever going to really play football again.
Flacco's just out there collecting money. I mean, this guy
and good for him. Do it.
And he's a very smart guy. He's a very conservative guy. You know, I used to know his agent pretty well, and I'd always heard that, like 5 years into the league, guy's not even spent a dime of his salary. You know, he's living off of endorsement stuff and all that. But, you know, he does have a big house in my old hometown. Shout out to my friend, the Fantasy Stoner. If you heard Sirius XM, the dude literally lived across the street from Joe Flacco. It's a big house, so he's got high taxes, and he'll continue paying them. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, obviously he kind of had a blow-up game last week, so the value took a turn. However, I don't know if the markets or people really understand, like, A, how good he looked, and B, the fact that this has been the plan all along. Once they traded Brian Robinson, they just weren't rushing it in like week 1 or 2. And then C, there's some good matchups forthcoming, like Chicago this week. I think we're in with Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, because we haven't seen, by the way, the complete DC offense yet, really. And I think we may get it this week. Daniels look good, and McLaurin's likely back. Debo, my guy Debo's balling. So other than Ertz, you know, I think we're good with JSM, Bill, a.k.a. Bill. So I'd buy low.
I don't think so.
It's not low, but my point is, I think his value will be significantly higher, perceived value at least, in 2 to 3 weeks when it's clear he's the guy.
I'll say this is kind of what I had been talking about on Dynasty Points. Like, I got a lot of flack for in spring camp when everyone was, you know, pushing him up draft boards because he ran with the ones. This is at the same time that Jaden Blue ran with the ones and no one cared, which is one of those camp things. You remember last year with the Chargers, it was like any rookie running back at any round that went to the Chargers was going to get propped up the board. That's how we ended up with Kamani Vidal being a fake Twitter favorite. My thing was, the passing game work may not be there. He'll have to rely on efficiency. Well, he's done that now, and he is one of the most efficient running backs I think I've ever seen. I got to give a shout out to a guy on Twitter. It's at Dynasty Zoltan. Mike is a phenomenal Dynasty player, had been on Bill before literally anyone else I had seen. And that's how I started to get in on him early, but I wasn't buying ahead of seeing it. He was somebody I needed to see. It looks like they were kind of waiting for Daniels, honestly, is what it seemed like. They used the veteran running backs get in while Mariota was there. First game back with Daniels, few more carries. I believe it was 13 carries, only 2 receptions. Didn't seem to matter. Only 1 carry inside the 5. He doesn't need to be inside the 5 to score. I think you're right. I think the problem is people that have him have been waiting.
Right.
So
yeah, for sure.
I would say I'm buying, but I'll buy at the iron price.
Right.
Like, I'm ready to buy at the iron price for him because that's potential league winner at that point.
Yeah, good receiver. I mean, better than, untested, but he's not bad. He had 2 catches for 10 or more yards, one of them for 28. I had him on my list. I had talked to that Ben Standig of The Athletic early in August, and he told me, he said, look, that he's probably going to take over. I'm like, all right, let's put him on there based on role and all that good stuff. Well, let's see. What else do we have? AJ Brown. I think we're down to the point now where I'm buying the dip. 3 weeks ago, I'm out there, get out there and sell. Okay, that was a lifetime ago. So I'd be willing to buy right now at a discount, especially if I needed some immediate relief, because he's got the Giants this week and in 2 weeks. They play the most man coverage in football. He'll beat that coverage. And the Vikings, mark my words, they're good in the secondary. They're not stopping AJ Brown. They're not. They're just not. Just think about DK Metcalf 2 weeks ago. Did they stop him? No, they did not. Also, I'd be willing to buy low on Terry McLaurin because I think they need him. They need him, period. Like, Debo's making some downfield plays, but if we're relying on Debo to make downfield plays for a whole season, then we were ill prepared for the season. I know that, Noah Brown's been out, but I like the matchups too. Really good ones. Chicago, Dallas, KC might be tough, but there might be a shootout. Seattle's tough. Detroit looks pretty good. They're hurt. They lost their two of the top 3 corners, right? With Arnold, we'll see if he plays. And this is a very low dip here, but a little Trey McBride. I mean, he didn't do much last week. If you read my article, you saw that I had him as looking worse than usual, with Marvin Harrison looking better. It's like you alternate it. That's the cheat code, by the way, with the Cardinals. Is it a McBride game or is it a Harrison game? Because Kyler stinks. The offensive coordinator looks like a 7th grade history teacher. Shouldn't be out there. And they can't support more than 1 receiver a week. 1. So we'll see week to week on that. But this week, San Fran, Jacksonville, Tampa, LA Rams, Cincinnati, LA Rams. I don't know about that. I think this week might actually be a Harrison game, but still pretty good matchups there. You got the Cincinnati is always good. Here's another guy. Again, kind of on the low end, but I hate to say it, I do, but the matchups are so good for Kyle Pitts. I know this is low end, but this is a good run here. Miami, they're giving up 15.5 a game. Then New England, of course, they play man. That's probably not ideal. They give up 16. Indy, Carolina gives up 18. New Orleans, I mean, they couldn't stop Danny Bellinger last week. Gave up 2 tutties. He's a great dude, by the way. I love Daniel Bellinger.
I know. I hate that he's easy to like.
He's the nicest guy you've probably ever met in your life. That's all I'm saying. And he's like this big, huge. He just looks like he'll crush your head with his hand. He's a massive dude. Great guy.
He always looks stoned out of his mind, though.
I just loved him.
Right?
Great temperament.
When I see him in the outfield, he looks blitzed beyond belief.
Oh, no.
Time.
You're talking about Cody Bellinger. I'm talking about Daniel Bellinger.
Oh, Danny Bellinger. Sorry,
Cody Bellinger always looks high.
I've got Yankees on the brain.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. Danny Bellinger did well in that matchup last week. And, of course, freaking Theo Johnson scored 2 tutties. Colston Loveland, again, if you would ask me on September 1st, what is the most egregious ADP in all of fantasy football, I would have said Colston Loveland. And that it was the case, by the way. But it is a long season. There are seasons within that season. So I could see him in like season 5, season 6, heating up a little bit. It may not happen, but at the very least, this is pennies on the dollar. He's probably available in the waiver wire, by the way. So I'm talking maybe a competitive league or tight end premium league. Washington, New Orleans, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Giants are tough. Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Philly's pretty tough. Green Bay is good. Cleveland and Green Bay. It's a very good schedule. Let's see. Some other players that I might. So, well, here's some guys I'd be okay trading. Again, a lot of the trading. It's like a lot of the waiver wire. It's like these are rental players. These are for the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
A lot of these trades, we're only doing it for like the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. We're just trying to stay ahead of things because things change so much. You might as well try and anticipate it. Like Dak Prescott. Yeah, he's balling. I wouldn't mind trading him right now. Why? Look at this next month. I don't see it. I don't see a lot of output here. At Carolina, they're actually stingy. 15.8. You'll run all over them. At DC, they're all right back there. At Denver, that's nasty. And then Arizona, they don't give up much. So there's an example. I wouldn't mind flipping Dak. Kyler, I mean, come on. I mean, can we just stop? I wrote here, we're getting to the point where the question must be asked to people who regularly start Murray with confidence. Are you really trying? That's the question.
I think we're delusional. I think it's not confident. I think it's delusion.
Right. Well, he is running. I'll give him that. He is running. It looks like the great Gazoo out there running all over the place.
What's crazy is 23rd in points per game. Even when he's running 16.4 is insane.
Oh my God, that's brutal.
Yeah,
he's averaging like 20. He's averaging like 32 rushing yards a game. I bet.
He's currently being outscored by Carson Wentz, Sam Darnold, C.J. Stroud after last week.
Oh my God,
Marcus Mariota. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Wentz, I know I had J.J. McCarthy at QB 12, but hear me out. From weeks 3 through 5, which is 60% of the season so far, a 33-year-old Carson Wentz signed off the couch on his 5th team in 5 years behind a decimated offensive line with 3 starters out is the QB 12 in points per game. So, I mean, it's all about the locale. Now, maybe JJ is, I don't know, maybe he's got a case of the yips or something going on, but that is why I was so bullish, because a 33-year-old washed up journeyman is doing well right now.
Can I say this about Carson Wentz? Because we have this discourse a lot between Jacob and I, because he is anti-JJ McCarthy and I am not. He looked like shit in that he tried to give away the game actively, and then the Browns stopped covering.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what Denzel Ward was doing, as they rotated coverage away from him and he stopped covering Addison. That was a dime. But Carson Wentz actively tried to give that game away, and Cleveland just didn't have enough to keep it away from him.
Yeah.
I like what Carson Wentz is doing for the fantasy options, but I don't think there's any way JJ McCarthy stays off the field. And again, look at the start that he had. He had a phenomenal second half in week 1 and came back. He's averaging still 14.5 points per game. What's amazing is that he scored 2.5 points in week 2.
I know.
Meanwhile, Jefferson scored 12.4 points. So it's not like he can't hold some people up. He's definitely going to play. I think the Carson Wentz magic is going to end, and has ended, in my opinion.
Right.
I think after the bye week, it's JJ McCarthy.
I do.
But I think you're right. Like, the environment is just going to boost him up, I think. And now the thing that I noticed with Carson Wentz and JJ McCarthy, and you know this as a Vikings fan more than anybody, and maybe this is a little bit of cope. Like, I'll admit, this is probably a little bit of cope here. But notice that their left tackle came back, their offensive line got healthy, and they got a run game, and all of a sudden that offense worked. They didn't have that in weeks 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah, but their offensive line's not healthy. They were still without their starting number 1 pick at left guard. They're without their starting right tackle and their starting center and the backup center. I mean, so in Wentz's defense, their line is decimated.
Yeah, I guess I just was really caring about the left tackle more than anything.
But he's a stud.
You're right. So I guess I kind of just ignored everything else there. That's what I mean. It's probably a little bit of cope in my brain.
Right.
But I'm imagining, but they got the run game going. They got play action. Hawkinson, although he's not doing much, he's back. And now Addison back. I mean, it's no surprise to me that the offense is working a little better with a 10-year veteran.
Well, and it will be no surprise, by the way, if they could somehow, for the love of all things holy, get back to full strength. I don't know about Kelly, man. I mean, he's on IR, so you're going to miss at least 3 more games, so that's not great. But if they can just get Donovan Jackson back, let's just say second half of the year, if we have all 5 starters, like, it's going to work, and maybe my all analysis will be on point. It's been a slow go here, but again, it's a long season, and they're hanging in there at 3-2 despite all this stuff. So if we can get going here, I mean, there could be a little bit of a rocket ship. And then JJ, by the way, is averaging 25 yards rushing in his 2 games. Like, if he keeps doing that, he doesn't have to do that much. So I guess we're just worried about complete implosion. But see, that's when the coaches need to step up and put them in a good position, and they haven't really. I didn't think they did a good job in week 1 or 2, quite frankly.
I will say one thing I loved is after the interception. See, I love. I actually liked how KOC approached in game. Like, he threw that pick, and what's the first thing he did? He was laughing. He didn't Jonathan Gannon him, slap his player and scream at him. He big wide open arms, dapped him up, smiling So I actually, I kind of liked that showing from him, but the adjustments weren't great.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, JJ's got to do it. So we shall see. And again, it's tough to grade the guy. 2 games on national television to open the career. It's a lot of pressure. And then he did just have the kid. CJ Stroud, I mean, obviously you'd be selling high. It's a flip situation.
Please.
Yeah, I know. We got to get somebody on here. Maybe you're in a 2 quarterback league and there's absolute skank on the wire. It's a viable move where you can make a little bit of a profit. He's got some stingy ass defenses forthcoming against the pass, like Denver, Seattle, even Jacksonville, even Tennessee, Buffalo. No, T-Law. Come on now. I don't know if you saw that video. I had I was all in on him going over his rushing yard prop. And I'm like, guys, dude's running for 10. Okay. It's happening. I don't have riveting analysis, but it's happening. And he ran for 50 and absolutely crushed it. I think not a good schedule.
I think he was scared. I watched Brian Thomas Jr. run wide open down the field. If he just sat in the pocket, that he wasn't facing pressure, but he just took off and didn't throw the ball. I was just like, and I think he did it because he didn't throw it because he underthrew Travis Hunter wide open on a similar look going the other way where he started to take off. Hunter broke out, had the receivers beat, underthrew it woefully. Travis Hunter makes a ridiculous catch. Then the next time Travis Hunter starts to break, Trevor Lawrence starts to break and starts to run. Meanwhile, BTJ is running wide open down the field, open by a mile, and he didn't want to underthrow the ball is what I'm thinking. So I think he almost started to run out of instinct/fear, which is great for fantasy. Like, don't get me wrong, but I really could have used that. I lost a league by 0.31 PPR points, and it was Brian Thomas Jr. I could have really used that deep ball.
Yeah. I did lose one prop on the VSiN show, not on the site, where I thought he would have a longest reception under 22.5 and did not win that one. But what I did get right was Travis Hunter. I had that on the site. It was a slam dunk. Now, granted, he only had 3 targets, but it was like 29 yards. But how about that one? The Monday Night Special. Travis Hunter, 60 or more yards plus 437, and he hit it barely.
Love it.
I love that. We are on fire on those Monday night, Thursday special. We're absolutely rocking and rolling. It's like 4 weeks in a row. All right. Well, I don't think we need to go into lessons learned. We can, from the week, we touched on a lot of it. Do we have a good number of questions? Or?
We got a lot here, Guru. We can dive right in. We are kicking it off. Of course, Super Chats are going to go first here. Rob Milner, how do you view JCM Rookie of the Year, a flex play, or solid RB2? We actually kind of covered this accidentally, but I think he is at least an RB2 moving forward. You got to play him. And Rookie of the Year is kind of crazy to me, but maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone else, like Hampton got hurt. I think rookie of the year could be Judkins. Just saying.
I mean, it probably should be.
Probably
but
should.
Look, when you have that massive role, and that team will probably do better, obviously, than Cleveland will. So maybe that's part of the consideration. But yeah, I think Ja'Cory Krosky merit right now. Let's think about this. The RB2 would be top 24, and based on role with Eckler gone, that's pretty big. I think we're in. I think we're in the top 24, right about there, because there are a F load of options here, by the way. But I mean, this is like Bashal Tootin 2-3 weeks ago looked like, oh, well, looks like we got something. Nope, no, we don't.
Rest of year, not rookie of the year.
I know. No.
It's been a long day. It's been a long day. I'm sorry.
That's a tough call when you're saying that at 11:20 a.m. But yeah, I've actually been up since 6.
I'll be frank with everybody watching the show. Birthday night last night. We celebrated. Thank you. We ushered in my age 37 season. Crying over the Blue Jays blowing it. It was a late night of pouting and an early morning to the gym. So we're not. It's been, we're recovering, but yeah, my bad. Rest of year. I'm happy we were able to cover that for you.
You know what I was doing on my 37th birthday, by the way? Changing infant twin diapers.
Yeah, we live very different lifestyle. I don't have children. That's why I have Lego back here and not, baby stuff. I
was coaching Little League baseball for both of my oldest 2 sons, and then I would come home and clean poopy diapers. 2 of them, 2 at a time. What else we have?
We got one from Mark Farmer. He's saying similar to Kyle S. My Hawk alarm has been malfunctioning.
Yeah.
As the other guy said, he's been sleeping in because his Hawk alarm is not firing.
Exactly. No, you had your volume down accidentally.
Yeah. He said it's malfunctioning. Managed to stag Mark Andrews. Thanks, player to trade for article. He said in a 10-man half-point PPR, wondering, can I snooze the alarm for good?
So and roll with Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to take that kind of week to week and try and best guess based on matchup. Like Hawkinson did have that wonderful matchup against Cincinnati, and he came through, right?
Yeah.
So let's let's say you did that and you have these 2 guys. Okay. Week 7 against Philly. No. Don't use them.
Yeah,
Chargers.
Philly, Chargers, Detroit.
Chargers might be all right. Detroit, well, no. I mean, you generally don't like using him against man, but he did do okay against Cleveland. I mean, that is a fluid situation. You're going to take it week to week. I can't say just snooze it and just blindly go. I say you're going to have to play the matchups. You'll have to look into it a little bit, but you can wait until Sunday and you check out my article. I will have both players outlined pretty precisely, I think, before every game, and you could make your determination. But that will be a streaming thing, I think, Thomas.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
I don't want to give up on Hawkinson yet, because here's what I'm thinking with Hawkinson. Let's get a good Vikings offense with an offensive line that's functioning. Then let's give them a good running game, which they've shown to have when they have good blocking with Mason. By the way, we can get a little Aaron Jones back. That wouldn't hurt. Okay, so now the O-line's clear, and the blocking is better, and the running game is better. So now the support is better. Okay, so now you have J.J. McCarthy looking out at the best receiver in football on one side, and one of the most deadly, dangerous vertical threats in the league in Jordan Addison. So when defenses are trying to defend this, I think they're going to let Hawkinson eat a little bit. That was my takeaway. I mean, that was my hashtag analysis going into the season. And JJ is pretty good over the middle of the field. pretty good in that intermediate area. So, and the connection was pretty good this summer. So that was my thought process. Obviously, it's all been disrupted with all these injuries and all that, but it's not like Hawkinson is brutal right now, right? I mean, isn't he like tight end 13?
Yeah. So my thing is, I think the idea of TJ Hawkinson being the tight end 2, tight end 4, tight end 5 is gone. I think you need to view him as a low end tight end 1 to high end tight end 2, which is, as we know, not hard to get to. You catch 3 passes and a touchdown, all of a sudden you're tight end 9 on the week. I would say he's the type of player that you, like you said, you do play the matchups. You move to someone else who doesn't have a tight end necessarily for a usable running back or wide receiver.
He's actually, I'm sorry. I guess he crapped the bed last week, because last week I think he was 13, but short. He's like 24. I mean, this is brutal.
Yeah. In PPR, he's tight end 21, non-tight end premium league. So it's like, he's the type of player that you use his name value for to go and get a startable running back or wide receiver, in my opinion, if you have somebody like Andrews, because they can both get you 4 catches for a touchdown. So
I've overrated him. There's no doubt. When he came out, and
it happens.
This is a me problem, but when he came out, I'm like, this guy's freaking great. I mean, I'm like, he's gonna be Gronk, basically.
He had the start. Tight end 2, tight end 4. In his rookie year, he was great. Then the injury, then the trade, and then he absolutely smashed. I got cooked, Guru. I used to call him TJ Blockinson. I used to say that in a points per block league, he was going to be great. And then he goes out there and smashes in back-to-back years. Then I buy in, and then here we are. I think it's Jordan Addison to me that has capped his upside.
That is true. I was hoping that they would, diversify a little bit. And when you have a guy like Addison, yeah, he's taken away, but I mean, in theory, Addison should open things up for Hawkinson. But, end of the day, I have overrated him. And I'll say this. I will say this. Because of that original take, I think I'm kind of still waiting for him to prove me right. And there's a couple of years he came close. A couple of years he was great. I mean, he was considered elite. It's not like I evaluated him wrong. But I will say this. I have ignored a bad vibe on him, because at his combine, I know this is going to sound stupid, but at his combine, I go up to the podium and I was like, dude, did you even comb your hair this morning? Like, he looked like he just got out of bed.
Right.
Hair all over. I'm like, you're kind of on a job interview here, dude. And that has kind of, I mean, people are going to think I'm insane, but I'm telling you, he has put forth a lackadaisical quality. So he's underwhelmed. I don't know what it is, dude. You're not maximizing your potential, bruh. Wake up, comb your hair. How about, let's start there. Brush your hair. Take care, brush your hair.
Take care, brush your hair. Shout out Gugine. We got Chris Hill 499. We appreciate that. He says year 1. I'm guessing this is a dynasty. He's 1-4. JSN. Oh, it is a dynasty. JSN and Daniels are my best assets. Great assets to have. Don't want to sell them, but was offered a 27 and 28 first, a 26 and 27 second, and a 26 third. Have to, right? Absolutely not.
You are. Go ahead, Thomas. The floor is yours.
Yeah, absolutely not. You don't do this deal at all. Here's the thing. I'm guessing this is 1 quarterback, because in a super flex, you're not trading Jane Daniels for anything less than 4 firsts. And I have to tell you, Guru got this beautiful present here, an Ohio State signed JSN that will be going up on my wall to replace Justin Tucker, who shall not be named. Now that he's off my wall.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. You don't trade these guys because all you're hoping for getting those 2 firsts is that maybe you'll find a player half as good or half as valuable as JSN or Jaden Daniels. They're not they're not old assets. You don't have to move them to move forward. You're 1-4 already. You're not winning, and you still have great assets to turn things around. I'd look elsewhere. Dynasty portion of the Discord is free. All you need is a free account. So if you have a free account, at least you can get into the Discord. That link is in the description. You can DM me. I'll help you get in there. We can talk about this all day. We do nothing but strategy in there. Do not make this deal. You are going to feel the repercussions of this deal 3 years down the road, because those picks might look nice now, but you're giving him great assets, which means there's a higher chance that those picks are going to be late. So those picks feel inviting now. You're going to be happier having JSN on your roster more than you're going to have happier having the 111 in 2027. So you can be 1-4 in 2028.
Don't ever give up a great ass.
Don't give up great ass. Not for that. Rob Milner, would you sell Jefferson for CD? Go Phils, he said. Oof.
Oh, where are you guys going? You know where you're going? I'll tell you where you guys are going, Rob. You're going to Angelo's Pizza in Haddon Heights, New Jersey, which is my old pizzeria. It's also the same pizzeria that Trey Turner goes to, and Bryce Harper and Joe Flacco, by the way. That's where you're going, Robbie. But it's a good pie. It's a good pie.
Joining Toronto and Cancun.
No, I'm not going to do. I'm going to stick with JJ. I mean, it's viable because you could argue the quarterback situation for Lamb is better, but of course he's also hurt right now.
Don't trust those high ankles, man. Even when he comes back, he may not be the same.
Right. And hey, at the very least, this is good coaching. What are they doing in Minnesota? They're feeding JJ. That's good coaching, period.
Yep, 100%. Fish Reaper, hilarious name, by the way. $4.99 half-point PPR. Should I consider trading Jonathan Taylor or Bowers for more depth? I have Maine, Pollard, Taylor, QJ, BTJ, Bowers, Mooney, JMO. I'm 2 and 3 in a 12 man. Man, you've run into some poor luck, as I think.
Maine?
That's going to be May, I imagine.
Oh, is that Kenny Mayne? I'm starting Kenny Mayne. I don't want to drop Kenny Mayne because he's hysterical. Love Kenny Mayne.
He's great.
I mean, I'm not parting ways with an LW. I mean, that's a league winner, Johnny Taylor. Can't do it. I wouldn't trade Bowers either because that's buying low.
It's selling low for sure. They're
selling low. Yeah. No. Oh, and you got Judkins?
Move Pollard. Move Pollard. He had a good game again. I would move Pollard if you need some depth. I could consider moving QJ. Right. We had comments. You said sell QJ. We had comments last week where you said sell him, and somebody went in the comment section, and I love you, but he said don't sell top 12 wide receiver every week. He was a wide receiver 61 on the week. I mean, he's volatile. He is. You know, it's still QJ. He's going to have boom weeks, but I would try to move him. I think with Brenton Strange going on IR, BTJ becomes a little more viable, hopefully.
Absolutely.
So I wouldn't necessarily want to move him, but in a redraft, I would consider moving either Brian Thomas Jr. or QJ and Pollard. Do not move your elites. You're still in the mix. You don't have to get too wild. Some bad luck with Mooney and Jameson Williams. I mean, it's worse. It's worse than even
brutal.
I know.
But guess what? It's not going to continue. JMO is going to start getting on a run. I'm telling you, because he can't. If he doesn't, then it'll be like very underwhelming, like extremely I don't see it. It's just one of these things where if you're in a coma all year, and woke up at the end of the year and you looked at the numbers, you're like, oh yeah, that's probably what I thought he would do. But if you were woken up now from the coma, you're like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, he was. I talked about him last week on that mini pod I mentioned earlier on the Dynasty Points podcast feed, where I was like, it was on the Market Report, which is the Friday morning podcast release on the Dynasty Points podcast feed, where I said, like, if you look at, he was a buy for us because if you look at his averages, he was averaging almost exactly the same as he was last year. It's just he's not averaging what people thought he was going to average this year, but I think Tesla had more yards than him last week. Like, that's not going to last. They get Kansas City. This is a statement S-type game. Tampa Bay runs the score up because Baker is the MVP of the league right now, in my opinion.
I agree.
And then they've got Minnesota, Washington, Philly. I think they're going to need him, I think. So he's not somebody I'm selling on your roster either. I think you're right there. I think a couple moves from Pollard and one of those receivers we mentioned are going to go a long way for you.
Spears is going to come on a little bit, no doubt. That they wanted Spears to be like 45% of the backfield.
Right. So we've got one
Spears.
we've got iconic farmer with a 999. 12 team full PPR. QBs are Daniel Jones, RBs Brees, Kyron, great running backs. Wide receivers Jamar Odunze.
Juwan is your tight end. They should have traded him last week.
Tight end. I'm so, you want to know how fried my brain is? I read that as Tay Juan. I'm watching that way too much baseball.
Oh wow.
I'm watching way too much baseball. Flex is JK, bench lad, T-Mac, TJ, Purdy. IRI, you are killing it. So I got an offer to get Rice for T-Mac, lad, and an RB. Should I do it?
I would. I mean, I want Rice, baby. I do.
I think that's a lot, but it would depend on which running back. If you're trading J.K. Dobbins, I would consider it. I think you should get a little something back. I think this is a deal where you should get a little snack back, a little player back, because depth doesn't totally matter, but...
I would, though. Could you do Ladd? You know, I really like Ladd last week. He got the targets. He scored. Got the catches. Didn't hit the damn receiving prop, but I would rather do Ladd. I'd rather have Tet than Ladd for sure. But I would like to do that deal because I'm telling you.
Well, he's trading both of them, T-Mac, Ladd, and ARB for Rice.
That's a lot.
That's why I said. That's why I said it's a lot. I mean, in a redraft, right? This is what I assume. I mean, T-Mac's upside is a little capped right now because his quarterback is a toddler.
I would rather still have Rice though, because
I would too.
Like, I'd rather just I would give up those two. I'd rather just give up those two to get the one in Rice and go to battle with that, because that is going to be a lot more consistent than any of the other two guys. And there will be weeks when he actually outproduces both guys.
Correct. But again, you take on the most risk, so you should be getting a little snack back there. But right. I think if that's redraft, do that. If it's dynasty, don't do that.
Scooby snack?
Scooby snack. Hey, we like to say snack on. It's a dynasty points thing. You get a little snack on top, nothing too crazy. Just a little, a little sprinkle of something extra. Eddie wants to know, and we have other questions as well.
Eddie just gave us $2. Thanks, Eddie.
You did. Yeah, we appreciate you. For RB depth and potential upside, Tyrone Tracy or Kendre Miller, rest of season, not rookie of season.
I'm going to go Kendre because there's a chance they trade Kamara. Probably not going to happen. Kamara, I watched that game last night. He looks aight. But Miller looks a little better.
I don't think they even need to trade Kamara for Kendre Miller to have that upside. He outcarried Kamara for the first time. So I mean,
he's got a lot of juice compared to Kamara nowadays.
Lots of juice.
He looks pretty good.
Rattler's not a check down guy. He's chucking it. Like he's,
he
is slinging. Rattler.
He is slinging. He does have a kind of a live arm.
He does have a live arm. Say what you want about him, but
he's an attitude guy. I interviewed him, and I always say, you always say, this guy was great. Well, Spencer Rattler was an a-hole. How about that? Can I balance that out? But I'm not saying it like really, but he was a little testy. But he absolutely had an edge to him. He was pissed, basically. He was just ticked off in general. So he kind of plays like that. He's definitely got an edge to him. So use it to your advantage. Sometimes it seems like he uses it to his disadvantage. But Myers, Brock, Hendo for Rico, Diggs, and Laporta. So which side is Walk Daddy on? I guess probably the first side.
I think it's better not to know. It gives you it gives you more of a.
Well, I like the Myers, Brock, Hendo side.
I agree. I'm right there with you. Yep.
I mean Rico.
Diggs
it could be just an RBBC, right?
Yeah, but Diggs looks like a league winner.
Stephon?
Yeah, he looks like a legit league winner. 10 for 140. He looks great back-to-back weeks in that offense. But I agree with you long-term here. Rest of the season for upside. Bowers gets a little healthy. Hendo gets a little healthy. And I don't think Jacoby Myers stays this bad. So I think you're right here.
I want to check the tape on that because I was feeling it with freaking Diggs going into week 3. And I'm pretty sure I said it here. And then he didn't do crap. And see, that happens to me a lot where I'm getting this spidey sense tingle and I'm like, oh, here we go. And then nothing. And then next week it happens.
Right.
Man, that could have been a great call if I was really feeling it and pushing it and telling people, get him. Because you're right. I mean, he absolutely looks like he's just neutralizing everyone else.
He was somebody that, again, Dynasty Points Market Report, we give you buys, sells, and we talk about the market on a regular basis. Stephon Diggs was going for like a second round pick in Dynasty last week. That's gone.
Yeah.
You needed to be a little earlier. But again, I think he looks absolutely great. But I agree with you. I'm on that first side.
By the way, I'm looking at our cheat sheet. I had a feeling this was coming. The top 200 cheat sheet. I actually was over at Diggs's ADP of 87.5. I had him at 82. So FYI.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Kyle S here. If I don't know my college football that well, but I think that's a Gamecocks logo. Shout out. I think that's South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. I got to get on college football.
So. I mean, it's the color of the red, but I can't see the monitor that far.
I got to get on college football 26 more.
I've actually been to the Gamecock football stadium in campus.
Oh, really?
Really cool. Yeah, it's kind of like homey. You know, it's not huge spread out. You know, like it's kind of intimate there.
I like that.
My son, we toured South Carolina. There's a bunch of South Jersey people go to South Carolina a lot of Northerners go to college in the South. But anywho,
nice. He said this is the TJ Hawkins.
As soon as I looked at the field, though, the first thing I thought of, I was like, this is where my guy did his magic. Sterling Sharp, my boy. Hall of Famer plus Debo. I was actually texting with Sterling recently, still congratulating him for making the Hall.
Hell yeah, he deserved it. This is the TJ Hawkinson thing. I've been oversleeping because the Hawk alarm isn't going off. He said, is Hawkinson droppable for Mason Taylor? He said he has Taysom Hill stashed.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Yeah, I am. I'm doing it all day.
That's one that I'm doing as well, for sure.
Thomas, real quick. I wrote this. I've already updated my dynasty rankings. I didn't publish it on the site. I have Mason Taylor in the top 12. He's 12. I've seen enough.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I said on the mini pod on Monday that you need to take it seriously, and he should be ranked up there in the top 12, top 11. I said I would trade Hawkinson for him straight up Monday morning.
Straight up. By the way, everyone knows about his father. They don't know his mother is Zach Taylor's sister, and she, in her own right, was a world-class athletic type. So that's genetics.
Right now, Mason Taylor is tight end 16. If you look at things like keep, trade, cut, he's moved up 5 spots. The market is slow moving. He should be ahead of Brenton Strange and Njoku, Hawkinson, Pitts, Kincaid.
All of them. Maybe not Kincaid.
I put him above Kincaid. He's 20.
I can see it.
26 years old. Doesn't have weekly upside, whereas Mason Taylor is the second option on his team. I would, if there's somebody out there that views Kincaid highly, I would trade Kincaid for Mason Taylor and any snack I could get on top. any little extra that I could get, I would take it. Whether it's a third round pick, if you can get a second round pick, name value, I would take a Cliff Bar.
I'm a peanut butter Cliff Bar.
I'm a big peanut butter guy. I'm a good protein bar instead. Like if I'm gonna have something, I'll do a nice protein bar. I'm allergic to chocolate, so it's gotta be.
Oh, are you really?
I'm allergic to cocoa specifically, so I can have yeah. Trust me, it makes being a weightlifter very difficult in protein powders and stuff. But
yeah, you're a vanilla guy.
Big vanilla guy. Big peanut butter, big vanilla guy, for sure. But yeah, I'm there. This is Will. Hey, what are you guys' thoughts on Rashee Rice when he comes back? I have him stashed with Kelsey on the same team. Your thoughts on trying to trade for Bowers? Kelsey doesn't look as swift anymore. Well done, Will. That's a phenomenal pun.
I will say this. I don't think he's going to be overloaded with targets like he was the first 3 games last year, let's say. But, because, Hollywood Brown has kind of been okay. Thornton, I don't think you go away from that. I mean, Worthy looked like, he almost died on Monday night a couple times. And then Kelsey's not going to go away totally. But still, I do still believe Rashee can get to 10 targets a game, 9. and just 14 points should be like his baseline.
So I think you're going to see more end of year, rookie year, which was 10 targets, 9, 10, 9, 12, 6. And when that was the case, Kelsey was completely gone. I think they're waiting for Rice to come back so they can save Kelsey for the playoff run. So I think when Kelsey comes back, he does kind of backseat Travis Kelsey a little bit. As for the other guys,
I thought he was going to get before. Let's say I was going to get like 12 targets a game. Now I'm like with you. I'm like, okay, it's like 9 now.
Yeah, like, 9 to 10. So I'm right there. I'm not like, I think you should be trying to trade for Bowers, but not at the expense of Rice. If this is the question that you're asking, I think trading for Bowers is great because he's a buy low,
asset.
Buy lowest that you'll be able to. I don't believe that, and Guru, you can correct me. I don't think buy low actually exists. I think buying windows exist where if a player is hurt or he's down, people aren't just going to let him go for much, much less. On the average, someone's going to go, well, in my league, well, this isn't for you then. Your league is too good and you don't need this analysis.
Can we call it a buy low window?
Yeah, so I say it's more opening the window of opportunity to acquire more than it is buy low, which doesn't sound great in clicks. But
how about buy,
that's how I
not
look at
high. Buy, not high.
I mean,
that
just
doesn't really work,
buy.
But just buy.
But yeah, I agree in terms of getting going for Bowers. I think that's a great opportunity for you.
He's been on my list for weeks. Run. Whenever there's a guy of that quality and that caliber, I'm going to put him on the list. I'm just going to.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see what we have. Oh, David Ortiz, Big Poppy. Shout out Big Poppy joining us here. Usually in with us on Final Points. Says, John, where's the megaphone for this?
Yeah. Oh, my battery died on the megaphone. I will get it.
You have one?
I bought one. It's too big. It's like this. But let me tell you, my dog Wrigley is a real pain in the ass. Like somebody knocks on it, and I guess we didn't train him well enough. Somebody rings the doorbell. And now I'm like, Wrigley, and he stops, man. So I'm working in for dog training, but it's insanely loud. I'll bring it next week, I guess.
Just give me a warning so I could turn my headphones down. I've been using my gaming surround sound headphones, so I'll need a minute to.
No, one of the reasons why I wanted to do it is to because like on the VSiN show, there have been a number of times where it's like we're talking on a Wednesday for like the weekend picks, and I don't make official picks until Friday. But every once in a while, there's one I'm like Quinshon Judkins last week when it was like 73 and a half. I'm like, no, I'm in on that now. I want to be on that now. So in the future, I'm gonna grab the thing. I am officially in, and do it like that, just so everyone knows.
Amazing. I love that kind of stuff. To me, that's what separates standard content from the best.
I'm gonna have to actually buy another one to use on in here, smaller one, because this thing I gotta step back like this to do it. It's so big.
Well, yeah, I imagine so.
I mean, you could hear it. You could hear this thing maybe a mile away. It's that.
So what you're saying is you don't necessarily have to be subscribed to get those picks. You just got to be within the 3-mile radius of the Cruz Labode.
Saquon Barkley over 65. Yeah.
I can just imagine your neighbor's like, I really want to complain about this guy, but he keeps making me money.
Exactly.
What do you do?
That's kind of like serious. You're like, you know what? This guy's kind of annoying with all his gurus, but damn it, his advice is pretty freaking good. So let me just keep watching it.
Yeah, exactly. Christian Galvin says, drop Tajay, Justice Hill, Woody Marks, or Troy Franklin.
I mean, I dropped Justice Hill. I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I'm tired of looking at that dude.
They love him though. Didn't they just pay him last year?
Yes, they did. Guru.
They love him. What was he like?
And Keith Mitchell immediately looks good the second he gets on the field. It's like, oh yeah. What do we? I can't talk Ravens. I can't handle the Ravens being ass and the Blue Jays blowing leads at the same time. Like my brain,
that's brutal.
I'm gonna melt down here. Like usually the Ravens are the team I have to like look
Hang
forward to.
Thank God for the Ravens.
Yeah, as a Toronto sports fan, I deal with the Leafs disappointing me every year. I deal with the Blue Jays disappointing me every year, and I don't watch basketball. So it also, as a Rutgers fan, like I'm used to disappointment. I imagine this is what like being a disappointed father would be like. My favorite son, the Ravens, usually not the screw up. Right now, my favorite son is getting expelled from college after I just paid future tuition. All right, it's not great for me.
Yeah. Your favorite son is you paid the tuition. He's not even showing up to class.
Yeah, he's Ferris Buellering this thing right now. Not loving that. So I can't talk right. I'm just gonna go into a mental tailspin. We have some quick ones here we could get to before we sign off. We're at an hour 5, so we can do some rapid fire ones here. Matthew Schroeder says Tet for Rice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Marv Albert says yes, and it counts.
And it counts. I love it. Awesome says a Waddle or Metcalf.
Is that this week or?
I'm not sure. You didn't give me any more information than that.
Metcalf.
I gotta say, I'm kind of leaning Waddle. 28 or 26. What is it? 20. Ryan Heath, the stat master, put it out where he's averaging like 20 plus points per game over the last few. Without, he said for a trade. He said I would take Waddle here. I think they have similar floors, and like Metcalf. I know I'm big on this. But his underlying numbers, like the individual metrics, are just not good enough for Metcalf for me for weekly upside. But again, every couple of weeks he blows up, and I look like I'm wearing egg on my face. But I think the Waddle stuff is a little real.
Yeah, and I've played a bunch of Waddle props, so maybe I'm bitter because I keep freaking losing them because they're right, and like 3 yards shy. Things like that. And of course, I didn't do it last week. I probably should have, because anyway,
the week you get there.
But I remember talking about DK going into that week 4 game, and I'm like, you were talking about the usage, and I'm like, well, I mean, from my recollection, like just watching the games, I'm like, I feel like he's a big factor. And of course, he went off against the Vikings. But I will say this, I trust him more. I mean, I think Rodgers is going to be making it through the whole year. They're hanging in there, and I don't know if we can say that about Tua and all that. And by the way, as much as I pumped up Calvin Austin, he's hurt, and maybe he is in fact too small to play a large role. They don't really have anybody else, not like Jonnu's stepping up. So I think DK's fine. I think he's going to do well this week. By the way, who the hell are they playing? But I know I looked at it.
He's playing against this. The bye week was this week. They get Cleveland.
There it is. I like that. Okay. I mean, you saw what did Justin Jefferson do against Greg Newsome on
cooked him
Sunday morning? Cooked his ass.
Cooked him.
So that's what I'm saying. That's the matchup. I like DK there, but again, I like DK over Waddle. Let's just say that.
Okay.
And by the way, I'm a lifelong DK hater.
Every time I argue against DK with you, the next week he gets 5 receptions for 126 and 1.
He's doing it this week. Start DK. He's doing it.
Yeah. It is
because they're man heavy.
Yeah. For
He's
sure.
A man beater. Oh, here he comes. Watch out, boy. He'll chew you up.
Gibran Torres. Hope I said that right. I apologize if I didn't. I'm brutal with reading names. As you could tell by me reading tight end like a baseball player. He says, should I trade away Derrick Henry for Bucky? I'm 5-0. I tried this trade 2 weeks ago, got declined, but now may consider it. I would consider it.
I would not. I think it could put you over the top, but to me it looks like a league losing move. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. If I were end of the day, and this is just me. This is more of a philosophical thing. If I were 5-0 with Derrick Henry, I'm like, I'm not messing around. I'm not touching anything.
Yeah, no, you're right. You sold me. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Lamar's not done for the season.
They're coming back.
They're going to be like 1-5 after this week with the Rams because they're losing this week. So then you get the bye week. They could go on a big run, sneak into the wild card. They'll need
exactly what's going to happen.
They'll need Henry. Yeah, hold him. You're 5-0. You're doing great. You're doing great. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to
me. Don't listen to me.
Don't listen to me. Greg Martinez wants to know if you got a Thursday night Guru special on a Wednesday, or should they tune in tomorrow?
Well,
they could tune into matchup points that comes out tomorrow morning.
They could. The Thursday night special haters have been on a month-long sabbatical because we're killing it, and I am I'm digging deep here. I'm going into trances. I'm speaking in tongues. And not ready yet because this is not a great day for one. Like it's not like Kendrick Bourne last week. That was easy P. Or even Travis Hunter on Monday. So there isn't a great option. So I'm going to have to probably get a little creative with it in terms of like no. So the answer is no. I don't have one yet here. There was 2 weeks ago, there was a tricky divisional matchup, and I got a little weird because it was a Seattle Arizona game. I got a little weird and I killed it. I went Dortch. He killed. I did lose JSN by 3 yards, but also I was thinking, receiving for Ken Walker. I had Kyler throwing a pick. It was a good day, but I had to get a little weird to get there. So I'm thinking the same thing. I will say this. I know the odds are terrible.
Yeah.
Jackson Dart is throwing an interception. I mean, if you want to play that, it's like, I know it's terrible odds and I try to avoid those, but -140, my man is going to throw an interception.
I think that's fair.
It's happening. I don't know about 2. We're definitely getting 1. So, I mean, you got to put up 140 to get 1, but I do like Barkley over the rushing. I think Barkley, if you want to go in on something frisky, go like an alternative total on Barkley and hope he pops off 2 long runs. I feel like he will pop off at least 1. I also do like AJ Brown.
Yeah, absolutely. Marcus Matthews says 12-team standard, except a trade where I receive Jefferson and Jacobs, or trade and I give away Taylor or Henry plus Golden. I would do this deal for Henry and Golden. Do not move Taylor, please.
All day.
Yeah.
Please.
Great trade.
Please, for the love of all things holy, do not move Johnny Taylor. This guy, again, what is he in year 4 or 5?
Yeah.
This is
his age 26 season now.
Normally guys like him, they might start slowing down a little bit. Although to like a guy like Joe Mixon's credit, he hasn't. But as far as my eyeball test can tell,
he's built different.
Is in year 6 and he's the exact same guy. So this is an old school player, as I've always said. This is a guy from the 80s.
Hey, my long shot to be the RB1 of the season doesn't look like that much of a long shot. Unfortunately, Christian McCaffrey is just back to being fantasy football gold. If not for McCaffrey, I really feel like Jonathan Taylor at this rate would have a great shot at being
Thomas.
McCaffrey's
not going to play all year. He's not playing all year.
Well, I mean, I need him to in a few leagues, but I got to tell you, Taylor was just way too cheap all off season. Way too cheap. Did he's back to being RB4 on consolidation sites? Like Keep Trade Cut, Dynasty Daddy, Fantasy Calc on the market. Which is where I think there's a huge market inefficiency in Dynasty, but that's I could talk about that for 6 straight hours. He's being regarded as the RB4 right now, which means you could have bought at RB14 prices in the offseason. Maybe not RB14, but you could buy for RB8 to 11 for sure.
Don't ever give up, man. In the Fantasy Point Dynasty League, I was dead 2 years ago. Dead. Dead last. Just horrible. And now 2 years later, my running backs are Jonathan Taylor, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Javonte Williams. And I think I'm in first place. I was the runner-up last year. Don't ever give up, baby. Because those original takes, might take a half a damn decade to come through, but a lot of times they do come through eventually.
I think that there is a epidemic of redraft brain infecting dynasty players, and I think it is because of best ball. Right. I think best ball has come around and really taken over. And I'll be totally honest, when people are asking me redraft questions, it's very hard for me because I play in like one, but I study enough to help our subscribers. So that's what some.
So you're always thinking long term with all these player outlooks in your mind.
Dynasty always. Like that's why sometimes when we have these conversations and you're saying rest of season for redraft, a lot of the times what do? I end up changing my mind by the time you're done talking, right? Because I can't help but think about dynasty. So I think that there is a pandemic of redraft and best ball disease in dynasty, which is why people give up on great talent like Jonathan Taylor. And granted, I'm not one that's free of this. Every once in a while, I'll give up on a JSN after his rookie year because it was a historically bad type rookie year. And his price, we didn't really get that big a discount until we did. And then we bought, but I could have had way more if I bought sooner. So there is a little bit of that. Right, Roma Dunze I wasn't as in on until he dropped to like wide receiver 16, 17 because there was no discount for how bad he was, but the talent was there. So there is a little bit of that, but I think overall giving up on elite players like Jonathan Taylor is insane to me, and I think it's a redraft thing. I really do.
Yeah, is the number one operative word in Dynasty patience? Is that like the number one?
I think that's right up there. I like objective.
Oh yeah,
there's a reason I am referred to as the paragon of objectivity. I never get too high. I never get too low. I like to stay even keel, and that can lead me to be a little slower on buying in on breakouts. Sure. But more often than not, I'm not selling breakouts because I'm not giving up too early. Unless your name is Bryce Young, you can get off of every dynasty roster I have.
Yeah,
I started that process 2 years ago. I'm done. You tricked me for 3 games last year. I'm not falling for it. You freaking toddler. You Tyrion Lannister looking. I can't.
Yeah, it's not happening. I will say I was in on a prop over I think it's 18.5 tutties. Touchdown passes. Dude's got 7. He's hitting that. But yeah, it's not looking great here. Well, I think we can wrap it up here and I can get on with our day. This is kind of a little bit more of a hang situation, but hey, did we waste many corporate dollars out there with people watching this instead of working? If the answer is yes, it was a success, and if we gave you good advice, also a success. So I will wrap it up here. I'll be recording, by the way, the week 6 edition of Matchup Points. Absolute money the last couple of weeks, I think, with the recos on that puppy, and that'll drop like Thursday. Still bearing down on week 6. Once again, I'm going to try to get that damn article up earlier. I failed last week, but it was up, obviously, first thing on Sunday morning for sure. And we'll continue to try and stay hot. So for Thomas, I'm John. Thanks for hanging out with us on Hump Day with Hansen here at fantasypoints.com. Good luck this week. We'll talk to you next week.
What? Why are you shaking your head?
You're welcome.